biggest story in sports world right now is Tennessee, Nico Iamaleava, NIL, transfer portal, college football in general. Um, that's the biggest story going in sports right now. And I know it's the biggest story in sports right now because I go on Twitter, I see it. I go on Facebook, I see it. I go to work, I hear people talking about it. Um, it's everywhere. I turn on the TV, they're talking about it. It's everywhere. Um, and there's a lot of talk about Nico, and there's some things. There's some. I want to get the record straight. I want to. People are talking about the problems in college football in this day and age in 2025, but um, they people are the way people are talking about it. I don't think they really understand what the actual problem is. We're seeing the symptoms of it play out in real time with somebody like Nico. Um, and if you happen to not know what I'm talking about, if you're just watching it to support me, support the channel, like, subscribe, leave a comment, do whatever. Um, if you're just watching to support me and you don't know what I'm talking about, um, the quarterback at the University of Tennessee, former quarterback now at the University of Tennessee, Nico Iamaleava, um, it came out, it was reported last week at some time he was trying to renegotiate his NIL deal with the University of Tennessee, and he was getting paid about what 2.4 million, something like that, already, and it is believed that he and his representation, aka maybe his dad or whoever, but it's been like widely reported like it the representation is his father, um, that they wanted 4 million. They wanted a raise. They wanted more than what they were getting from Tennessee. So that was reported, and then last week he doesn't show up to practice, doesn't show up to spring practice, and misses the spring game. And Tennessee's head coach just came out, got in front of him, and said, "Yeah, he's gone. We're not we're not budging. We're not doing that. We're he's we want people that want to be here." And Nico is now gonna hit the transfer portal, and it was a huge story, and it was a huge story, and people are talking about what are the problems with college football right now. They're saying this is why there are problems in college football, because these kids are getting paid. These kids think that they're worth more than they are actually worth. And that's the problem with college football right now. And I hate to break it to you, but the kids getting paid is not the reason why there are problems with college football currently. Um, what you saw happen with Nico is a symptom of the problem, but it's not the actual problem. The actual problem isn't just one isn't just one thing. It's a collection of small decisions and small decisions and rules that don't exist coming together to form what you see happening right now. And what I mean by that is I think the main culprit in this equation is the transfer portal itself. The players themselves are getting paid, and I support that 100%. The players are getting paid, but they are able to use the transfer portal as leverage and have been using it to get paid more. Um, And I think that is the real issue. They're using it because it is leverage because they can literally transfer to any school at any time, no matter what. Um, After each and every single college football season, a player like a freshman could enroll in a school, redshirt, not play that year, transfer to a different school, and they could do that for every year of eligibility that they have. It is possible currently for a freshman coming out of high school to be able to transfer and play during a football season 5 different times. That's insane. That is insane behavior. And not even like they can only play at 5 schools during their eligibility, but when you bring in like injury waivers and like spring transfers versus the winter transfer portal, they could be at 6, 7, 8 schools, and like theoretically somebody could go to Ohio, go to Iowa State out of high school, transfer like theoretically they can transfer or sorry, go to Iowa State out of high school, like graduate early in December, enroll at Iowa State in January, be there for that spring semester, transfer to Iowa in the spring portal, and then play for Iowa that fall, and then after the season is over in the portal window again, transfer to California for the spring, and then in the summer transfer to USC, having never played at California in an actual game. This is actually unbelievable that they can be allowed to do this. And that's really what the problem is. They're able to use basically free agency at any time in order to reset the market on themselves, NIL wise. And that that needs to be stopped. They can get paid whatever they want, like whatever a team or university is willing to pay. If they feel like they need to pay it, then they're worth it. Like it is what it is. But what needs to happen is some kind of language to stop these kids from being able to transfer at will, or there has to be some kind of penalty attached. Like there has to be incentive to not transfer, because the way it stands, you are seemingly doing yourself a disservice if you don't transfer at some point during your college career. Unless you come in, you're a 5 star, you play immediately, and you're going to be out in 3 years to the NFL like a Jeremiah Smith. If you are not that caliber of player, like you're doing yourself a disservice as it stands currently if you don't hit the transfer portal. Like you're costing yourself money. Um, and you might, and I shouldn't say it that way because you might not be doing a disservice to yourself development wise, education wise, relationship wise, networking wise, like all of that. I'm sure you are like that is the correct way to be doing it to set yourself up for success post graduation. But if your main goal is to monetize your athletic career while you're in college, you need to hit the transfer portal the way it currently stands in order to maximize that monetization. And that is the problem. That is the problem. And when you when like p- people all across the internet love to blame individuals specifically for anything that happens, anything negative, people love to gravitate towards blaming one specific person. But in this instance, this is not Nico's fault specifically. This is the fault of the system, the NCAA system, allowing all this to take place. Now, yes, is there some accountability for Nico? He chose not to go to practice. He chose to enter the transfer portal. Um, that that is something that he is going to have to be accountable for, and it is what it is. But he's not the only one doing this. He's just the biggest name that you've heard of doing this, and you can speak to anybody that's in the college football space, coaches, uh, maybe trainers, people that work in like general managers and like recruiting services, like they can tell you that this is happening at every level, like FBS, FCS, D1, D2. This is happening at every single level with almost every single person on your roster. Like not everybody's hitting the transfer portal, but they they're thinking about, like, these conversations are happening at all times, basically for entire rosters at a time. And if you want something to be done, it's not it's not the getting paid part. The getting paid part is deserved. These players are making these universities all kinds of money that we can't even fathom. The TV deals that these conferences have signed are billion-dollar deals. Billion with a B. Billions. Billions. So, of course, the players should see some of that money because they're the reason that people are tuning in. Okay. So that's not the issue. The issue is with the lack of rules around the transfer portal. The transfer portal is the wild west. I have friends that are coaches at the FBS level, and the stories that they tell me are insane. Like you don't even have, like, the only people that you have to let know that you're entering the transfer portal is compliance. You have to let the compliance office of your school know. You don't have to text your coach, you don't have to text your roommate, you don't have to text the strength coaches, you don't have to text your position coach, head coach, nobody. Like, as long as you tell compliance you're entering the portal, you don't have to do a damn thing. You could disappear into the ether. If you tell compliance you're entering the transfer portal on Friday, by Tuesday you can post on Instagram of you literally at another university, and nobody would know where you are. Nobody would be the wiser. And this has happened. People I first this is firsthand knowledge from somebody that I know who coaches. The transfer portal is ridiculous. It is unbelievable. So everybody's screaming at Nico. I understand the frustration. I really do. I really understand the frustration, but I need you to point it in the correct direction. And it shouldn't be at Nico specifically. Now, while we're talking about Nico specifically, I do want to say again, all the piling on of Nico and, oh, you're a selfish kid. How could you do this? You quit on your team and all of the above that people that people on the internet are so brave to type out. Um, I I just want to give you some perspective. Y- when you're playing college football, you are generally going to be somewhere from now 17 years old to 23, 24 years old while you're playing football. uh Dude from Miami notwithstanding 27, Tyler Shuck notwithstanding 26, but generally you're going to be between 17, 24, but most of the time is 18 to 23. You're going to be in that window, and Nico's going into his third year in college. No idea like when his birthday is, don't know how old he is, but he's anywhere from 20 to 21. But I just want to give the people yelling at him perspective, because most most of the people yelling at him are adults, like real deal adults with jobs, bills, rent, mortgages, car payments, insurance payments. Maybe you got kids. The people yelling at him like have lived more life than he has. And I just want you to like take a second and think about what you were like at 20 years old. You thought you had all the answers, but now you can look back and you know you did not have all the answers. In fact, you probably had none of the answers. You maybe had one answer, but you thought you had all of them. You thought everything in your head you thought was correct. And you can look back now, maybe some of it was, but I'm sure a lot of it was not. And again, people on the internet, people act like people can never put themselves into somebody else's shoes. No one has any empathy for athletes of any age. Um, but they really don't have it for college athletes, because everything is, oh, you're getting paid so much money, you should XYZ. And it is not that simple. It is not that simple. I can tell you from experience, um and reflecting on my own life and my own decisions that I made while I was a student athlete, while I was wearing this jersey up here, that I I thought I had it all figured out. I really did, but I didn't. I've and I could if I could go back and tell if I could go back and tell that kid to make a couple different decisions here or there, I know myself back then I wouldn't have listened. Hmm. But I've lived more life than I was had lived back then. So I have a different perspective. I know what's a good decision, I know what's a bad decision, and you like when you're 20, you really don't know. You really don't know. So when I'm talking about Nico and I'm trying to defend him, I just want you to think about how at at 20, if you're listening to the adults around you, like the real adults, the adults that raised you, that took care of you, that you trust, if those people, if your parents are telling you you should you deserve X amount of money. And the only way I know, the only way I know, the only plan I have for you to get that is to not go to practice and hold out, essentially. If that's the only idea that they have, but you trust them implicitly, you're going to do what they say. And of course you know now that it's a bad, probably a bad decision because of all the backlash you've gotten, how every single website, that sports website that exists, has sullied your name, has literally turned your last name into a meme. I am a Leva, like somebody somebody at the Tennessee spring game wore your jersey, turned your last name instead of I am Aliava says I am a bitch. Like like of course you know now, with the benefit of hindsight, you probably couldn't have imagined how negative a story this would have been. Um and I'm talking about Nico. Like his whoever his representation should have read the room. Um and who obviously whoever is representing him made terrible decisions, because I I understand why they thought he should get more money, because he's a starting quarterback in the SEC. But what they don't realize is that the transfer portal has become free agency. So all the quarterbacks that hit the portal that got money left their programs. They left their programs and they got paid like it was actual free agency. And what is the big thing that people say about NFL free agency is that people get overpaid. People are overpaid when they hit free agency. Like that's the whole reason to hit free agency, is so you can get overpaid. So all the quarterbacks that hit the portal that are paid more than Nico, some of them may be better than him, some of them may not be. Um they they got paid more because they hit the portal. And his representation should have understood that concept. If they wanted, excuse me, if they wanted Nico to get paid more, they should have just told Tennessee, we're out. We're hitting the portal. None of this negotiating, back channeling, all that kind of stuff. None of that. Just hit the portal. Just hit the portal, let the chips fall where they may, or let somebody back channel to you. You shouldn't be doing the back channeling. Somebody should be back channeling towards you, telling, "Hey, if you hit the portal, we got 4.2 for you." You shouldn't be out there trying to find it, because of course Tennessee's going to find out. And now we're in the situation we are. He's in the portal. Who's going to take him? Who wants to touch him right now? Who wants to break up their locker room right now? Like, oh, that's stupid. That's stupid, kid. We don't want him to play quarterback for us. He can't even lead himself. I can lead his team. So if you're out here dogging Nico, if you're out here dogging Nico and you are older than him and you have real you have a real adult life that you take care of, I just want you to sit back and take some time and really think about it, and have some empathy. Because yes, of course, you right now, if you were transported into his body, you would absolutely love to to play quarterback for $2.4 million. Of course you would. It's the easiest decision ever. But think about the perspective. Nico has been a 5-star athlete for however long in high school, was one of the most highly recruited quarterbacks in his class. Like where he is where he was supposed to be. It's not a surprise. He expected to be in the position that he is. If you're like if you at home are looking at Nico and like of course you would switch places because that wasn't your reality. You didn't grow up as an elite athlete. Like you didn't expect everything that comes with being an elite athlete. He grew up that way. So when you grow up as that elite athlete and you become the starting quarterback at Tennessee, it's just what was supposed to happen. So him him leaving that money on the table is like the decision matrix in his head isn't the same as yours now or yours when you were 20 years old. When you were 20 years old, of course you would switch places with him because it wasn't expected. Like that would be a surprise for you. This is not a surprise for Nico. Um and I don't know if people will understand what I mean when I say that when I'm talking about. Um but just have some perspective. Stop stop shitting on the kid just because he made what looks like a bad decision. It might not be a bad decision at all. He's in the transfer portal, hasn't signed as of me recording this video. Who knows? Who knows where he could end up? Who knows what coach he could play for? They develop him more. He goes off, hits the draft in a couple of years, and this is all forgotten. That could still happen, and it might even have a better chance of happening because that Tennessee offense that Josh Heupel runs, I don't think is good for a quarterback's development. Anyway, so yeah, I like it's about 28 minutes on Nico Iamaleava. Um, yeah, I just the moral of the story, too long, didn't read, didn't listen. Um, please just have some perspective, have some empathy. Like you don't have to like them, you don't have to support them. Um, just have some empathy for that kid specifically, and your problem is with the transfer portal. It's not with players getting paid, and we're never going back. We're never going back from that. The that cat is that rabbit is out of the hat. We're never going we're never going back. College football players, college athletes are gonna get paid. Like it is what it is now. So if you're really mad at that, you're gonna be mad for the rest of your life. I'm sorry. Okay. So enough on that. My second topic, hopefully I don't go as long on the second topic. Um People are mad online again about something else related to Colorado football, and people are upset that Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders are getting their jerseys retired, their numbers retired at Colorado at their spring game coming up this weekend. People are mad. Oh, they didn't do anything. They haven't won any games at Colorado. They didn't. Dion, Meon Sanders. Aren't y'all tired? Are y'all not tired? Are you not tired of being mad at Deion Sanders? Are you not tired of being mad at Shador Sanders? Are you not tired of being mad at Travis Hunter? There's been so much energy put into these people that I don't think you actually hate them. You love them, but you don't want to admit it. You actually love them because why are we upset? First of all, let's talk about Travis. Travis Hunter is one of the most unique football players in college football history. He won the Heisman Trophy and he won in the same season. He won the Bolitnikoff Award, which is for the best wide receiver in college football. And also, the same year, same season, same games played, won the award for best defensive player in the nation. And we're mad that guy is getting his jersey retired. We're mad at that. We're upset by that. We're yelling online about it. I don't understand you guys, man. I really don't. I thought I did. I thought I did at some point, but I clearly don't understand you guys. Because why are we mad at this? Why are we you guys don't even like Colorado football? Why is this even on your radar? You guys hate them. Why do you care? Why do you care? You didn't care then. Now you don't care now. Like you what's happening? Um and personally, um I in for college football, my opinion on retired jerseys and retired numbers, I don't think you should like my opinion is I don't think you should retire numbers in college because I think those numbers can be used as like a type of currency in recruiting or rewards um for your team like like the number 7 at LSU, like probably the most famous one. If you wear number 7 at LSU, like you are that guy. You are that guy. And I'm glad it's not retired. I'm glad it's like a tradition passed down from great player to great player. And that is how I like numbers to be used in college. I don't think you I personally don't think you should retire jerseys, but that's just my opinion. I think you can use that like if I mean you can't like you kind of have to know like who your players are, but like you get like if what uh I'm trying to think of example. Like if you go to Marshall, and I don't remember what number Randy Moss wore at Marshall. I don't know if it's retired or not. But if they retire numbers, it should be retired. But if it's not, you're trying to get a kid like, hey, you want to wear this number like Randy wore because we think you remind us of Randy, so we'll put you in that jersey. Some like just something simple like that. It doesn't have to be a whole serious thing, but that's not the majority opinion because like people universities retire numbers all the time. But no big deal. Um, but let's talk about Shador getting his getting his jersey retired. Um, People are really mad at this, and they're really mad because they say he hasn't accomplished anything at Colorado or just in general as a football player or probably in general in life the way people talk about him. So, um I think like let's take a second. Let's just look at the numbers. Let's look at the numbers, okay? Um so I got Shador's numbers for his junior and senior year at Colorado. He was there for 2 years, his junior year and his senior year at Colorado. Let's look at his numbers and see like just see how good they are. Okay? Um so his 2 years he had 7,106 passing yards, 56 passing touchdowns, and 23 interceptions as a junior and senior. Oh wait. I'm sorry. Um I'm sorry. That's not his numbers. That's Peyton Manning at Tennessee who got his jersey retired. Yeah, my bad. My bad. My bad. Wrong numbers, wrong numbers. I got him right here. I got him right here. There's actually 7,001 passing yards, 50 touchdowns, and 25 interceptions as a junior and senior. Oh wait. I- I'm sorry guys. I might have to cut this out. I'm really sorry. That was actually Eli Manning at Ole Miss who got his jersey retired. Um his senior, junior, and senior year. Um damn, that's my bad. That's my bad. Um let me I'm sorry guys. Let me actually pull up Shador Sanders his stats at Colorado. Um 7,364 yards, 64 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. His junior and senior year at Colorado. Yeah, I mean it is like we're 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 acting like this is blasphemy. We're acting like this is blasphemy that he's getting his number retired at Colorado. Um, but he he is he is the leader, like the all-time leader at Colorado in touchdown passes. In 24 games, he's the all-time leader in passing touchdowns, and he's like top three everything else. We're acting like this is blasphemy. These are, by the way, the single season records that Shador holds at Colorado. He is first in single season passing yards, first in single season completion percentage, first in single season touchdown to interception ratio, first in single season passing touchdowns, first in single season completions, first in uh yeah, that's a single season. And then he has the record, he has the game record for passing yards through 510 yards in a game. Like he is all over the record books at Colorado. So acting like this is blasphemy that his jersey is retired at Colorado is nonsense. And the argument that other people at like other quarterbacks that have accomplished more at different schools don't have their jerseys retired, take it up with those schools. That's not Colorado's fault. That's not Shador's fault. Take it up with those other universities. If you're mad Joe Burrow doesn't have his number retired at LSU, take it up with LSU. If you're mad Patrick Mahomes doesn't have his number retired at Texas Tech, take it up with Texas Tech. Why are you mad at Colorado for that? Colorado has no Colorado can't retire Joe Burrow's jersey at LSU. They can't do it. They literally cannot do it. Colorado can't retire the 5 at Texas Tech. They can't. They can't. They actually they have a better chance of doing that because Colorado because Deion Sanders has a good relationship with Texas Tech's head coach. So maybe he could influence him to, hey, maybe you guys should put Patrick fucking Mahomes as number 5 up in the rafters. Maybe you should do that. So I take it back. If you're mad at Colorado for that, you're allowed to be mad at Colorado for that because Dion could hit up the coach and be like, "Hey man, put Mahomes shit in the rafters. Do that." Other than that, I don't know what. Like, why are you crying about Shador and Travis's jerseys getting retired? Anyway, I've been talking too long. Great episode by by my standards. There was some I really wanted to talk about that the Nico thing, and the NIL thing. Really wanted to give some perspective on that. But anyway, if you're still watching, appreciate you. Uh, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Um, really, really would mean a lot. So appreciate you guys if you're still watching. But until the next time, I'll see you.